everyone. Today I'd like to talk about biker rallies and some of the experience I've had over the years with those. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll roll my new intro here, and then we'll get back to the subject. Well, I hope you like the new intro. If you did, go ahead and shoot a comment in there. And if you didn't, go ahead and put a comment in there too. I'm curious about what you guys think about that. Anyway, so figure we talk about biker rallies today. Never actually attended a biker rally or a motorcycle rally. Planning on attending a few this year. The club I'm in is actually going to put one on, and I'm going to go down to Durango, if you watched my video last week, and check out that rally down there. But I got to thinking the other day, I'm like, I grew up in a small town just outside of Las Vegas, Boulder City. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with it, but that's where I grew up, was down there. And I remember back in the mid-70s when I was, I think in elementary school still, maybe junior high, there used to be a group of motorcyclists, or bikers, I guess, that used to come in and stay at one of the city parks. They'd show up for 3 or 4 days and set up tents and stuff in the city park there, and camp out and go for rides, I guess. Like I said, I don't know. I wasn't paying a heck of a lot of attention, but you know, the park where they'd set up was right near the high school and elementary school, so we'd go up there, play basketball or whatever, and you know, they'd be in the park there, and sometimes I'd cruise over there, being a little kid that liked motorcycles, and just kind of walk around the park and check out all the bikes that everybody brought. Of course, back in those days, they were pretty much all Harleys as far as I can remember. I didn't, you know a lot about motorcycles back then unless they were a dirt bike, you know, so didn't pay a lot of attention to street bikes. But anyway, and you know, I remember talking to a few of the people, and they seemed really nice, you know, but I'm sure, you know, my parents would have saw that. They probably would have been a little upset at me for going over and talking to those people. But anyway, so I was trying to do some research online the other day, and I could find almost nothing about that rally. I figured somebody might have posted something from the past or some pictures or something, but I can't find anything. So I dug around and dug around. I finally found a guy that had wrote a book, which I haven't read other than the couple of pages of it, where he talked about the motorcycle rally he went to in Boulder City. So he said they rode up there and they would ride around the Hoover Dam and around the area down there, and he said it was a good time and he really enjoyed himself. He said the park was really nice and had a lot of shade trees and things like that, and like I said, he seemed to really enjoy it. So it was kind of neat to be able to read some about it. You know, I wish I could have found a little bit more info on that, but there just wasn't any. So, but like I said, they didn't. They seemed to mind their own business. No one really seemed up in arms about anything about those guys being there. So I don't think it was all too bad. But it only, from what I remember, it might have lasted into the late 70s, and then it was gone. They never showed up anymore. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but they were gone after that. So never really thought much of it until, you know, just a couple days ago. It just popped in my head, and those old childhood memories. But anyway, I just wondered if any of you guys went to any of those rallies back in the 70s. I know that's a long time ago, or maybe seen some, when you were a kid growing up. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on those. It's kind of a cool memory back when I was a kid. Yeah, most of the time, when I was growing up, I never, really rode street bikes that much. I had a couple of them here and there, but they were just for getting around town. I spent most of my time and money on dirt bikes and racing dirt bikes down there in that desert in southern Nevada, and raced a lot of races down there. And the guys, they talk about how the bikers are, and I think the dirt bikers are kind of right there with them. We used to go up to some towns up in the middle part of Nevada and put on races and race in town. I don't know if you guys have seen on any Sunday, but there's one where they show Steve McQueen and Malcolm Smith and all those guys racing through a town. I think it was Lake Elsinore is where they were at down in California, but we used to race through some towns up there in the middle part of Nevada, and it was kind of cool to do that. They would actually set the pits up in one of the city parks, and everybody'd camp there and just have a good old time. And then come around each lap and race through town, and the residents would be sitting in their front yards just enjoying the race right there from their front porch. It was kind of cool, but that kind of came to an end in the late 80s. They kind of quit doing that too. I don't know what, if the local law enforcement got tired of dealing with it, or the residents did, or what, but they seemed to enjoy it back in the early 80s when I used to do it down there. But it sure was a good time. But you get a bunch of dirt bikers together, they were probably almost as rowdy as the other bikers. Boy, the parties would go late into the night, and hooting and hollering and riding bikes through the streets all night long, and it could get a little crazy. But anyway, those are days gone by, I guess. Everybody gets a little older, and life changes. Anyway, I just thought I'd share those couple stories with you today while I cruised around some of this old farm country here in Idaho, and I'm riding through a lot of the same areas that I rode through last week. If you guys watched last week's video, and you can see there's a lot less snow here now than there was then. We do have a little bit of chance of snow again this weekend, just like last weekend, but it's springtime's coming, so it's not a bad thing. Anyway, if you would, if this is your first time to the channel, I'd ask that you hit that subscribe button and come back and enjoy some of my other rides through the mountains up here. And if you had a comment, and like I said, about any of your childhood memories about your motorcycles, maybe motorcycle races you went to, or motorcycle rallies or something like that, share those in the comments, man. I'd really like to hear about it. Well, you guys take care. I appreciate you for coming along today, and ride safe out there. Talk to you later. Bye.